So, thank you very much for hanging about. We're going to ask some questions tonight, and as Andy said already, we will be taking questions from the folks, so get your thinking caps on now. But first, could I please welcome to the stage Mr. Ross Ainsley, Duncan Lyle, and Eamon Coyne. Gents, would it be a good idea to go along the line and introduce yourselves to everybody here and what you do in the band? Eamon, let's start with you.
Yes, I am Eamon Coyne, and I play the banjo in the band.
Beautifully.
Very important instrument in the band, the banjo.
Also known as Banjo Man.
Thank you.
Affectionately. I'm Duncan Lyle. I play the bass in the band, double bass guitar, and recently started playing bass synth, which is a lot of fun. Great, having fun with that.
And my name is Ross Ainsley, and I play pipes and whistle. And there's two pipers in the band. My partner in crime, Ali Hutton, isn't here today, but pipes and whistles.
So, gentlemen, Treacherous Orchestra. If we were coming to this straight away and you've never heard of us, come across this podcast, how did it all begin? Duncan, you asked for this.
How would I describe Treacherous Orchestra?
How would you describe it? What was the genesis of the band? How did it all start?
How did it start? It started kind of organically around the sort of session scene around Glasgow. A lot of the guys in the band have lived in Glasgow for quite a long time, playing at sessions and playing in different bands together. And Glasgow was a really great sort of melting pot, still is, a great sort of melting pot of musicians from all over the country. So we've kind of played in different bands together and played at sessions. And we started doing a sort of regular ceilidh in a local bar. But it was a ceilidh where we all started to experiment with the music, and it wasn't your kind of average ceilidh band. And so we started kind of coming up with some of the ideas that you hear now in the band, just at that ceilidh. And then we got booked for a festival on Rum, on the Isle of Rum, just as a sort of scratch band, a one-off band, and we put together a whole load of us. And I think Ross asked Eamon to join us on stage.
Stupidly.
Yeah, it was a really bad idea.
See, once you get me on, I'll never come off. That's it. Never. They've been trying to lose me
There's
since.
Free beer involved.
Well, yeah, definitely. That's how I got into Celtic Celtic as well. Indeed, free tequila.
Yep.
And this Treacherous Orchestra, was the name created for that festival in Rum, or were you that already?
The name, I think the name came about at a different time. Quite a few years ago, a few of us in the band used to play in a band called Croft Number 5. And Croft Number 5 were involved in putting on a sort of club night in Glasgow where there was some live music and DJs. And again, there was a sort of scratch band that were put together to start the night. The club night was called Treason. So the name Treacherous Orchestra came about from that.
And it's coming together.
Yeah.
Okay. The Rum Festival name was Frog and Throat. So that was a little bit harder to put together and put an image together.
Yeah,
we'd end up doing the Muppet Show and stuff like that.
It wouldn't be right.
I think as well, as to be said that from after the Rum Festival gig, we then got together for the festival club at this festival in 2007. It might have been back then, and Donald Shaw seen us play, and he gave us the opportunity. He said, "Do you want to do a gig of that band? All these individuals who's playing. Do you want to get together and have a gig?" And we did, and we rehearsed, a gig material up, and that was our first gig we did in the ABC, and I think it's sold out, and that's where it all kind of took it seriously after that.
So, I mean, one of the things that comes across from your playing is it's a lot of fun. Is that something you've always tried to maintain, that there's not really a front man as such? You all seem to take a wee step forward and a wee, chat. Is that a deliberate thing, or is it just because not one naturally came out? Or
well, I think it's more to do with the nature of the music and the nature of the orchestral styling behind it. I mean, it's called the Treacherous Orchestra. It's not an accident. The arrangements are very specific. We work long and hard, and then we rehearse quite a lot. And So the idea of different people come out at different stages in the music whenever it's appropriate, and it doesn't get, there's no plan, there's no template yet. The first album Origins came very much along the way, and the stuff was nearly ready to be recorded, and we've working on a new album, and the new material you heard tonight, that we'll be playing tomorrow as well. It's very much hard work and everyone in it together.
It's
and
a team
everyone
effort. Yeah, we always when we're working together, it's quite a democratic process when we're putting the music together. So hence, when we're on stage, that there's not any one central point, and we all play our part.
And writing a tune, does that just say, chaps, I've got one here, or is it a creative process that you all write together, or
normally someone will come with a tune, and but there's a big process of like elimination from all these tunes that have come in from everyone, and then they'll get stripped down, to the favourite, and then that's just the start of it. So then then the arrangement process starts of this tune, and it gets dissected, and then like things added. And
it's a terrifying thing, taking a tune to the band and playing it for them, or letting them hear it and getting just blank faces.
I just don't bother. I don't bother.
You don't, right?
No, I don't bother.
I can imagine it would be fairly fearsome.
I just say, nah, I don't like that one, or I love that one, depending on the backhander involved,
I could imagine. But I mean, is it a process that you do kind of go, I love this tune, but can I share this, or can I keep this for myself, or in case it does get ripped to pieces and people go, no, we're not doing that?
It's a tough one. Like when we first started the first album, it was like a lot of the tunes that we'd been playing over the years at the sessions they were just like automatically like, well, we're going to play that one, we're going to play that one, we're going to play that one. But this new album has been quite a test. It's like it's been a hard process to pick what's right, and a lot of hours.
And do you presumably you over-record as well, that you're going to do far more than you need for a CD and then just cut it back from there?
I'm not so sure.
No, all right, okay.
Well, it's kind of like that most of the numbers are 15 minutes long, so we kind of have to. This is a process that we have to go through. How do we chop out bits? With keeping the interest, and with keeping the dedication to what we've come up with, and then we go back, it gets sliced another bit, and then we do have lots of material. I'd say we have enough material. I don't think we've too much material.
Right. Okay.
Is that putting it kind of?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Now it's a big band, 11/12 of you.
12. Yeah.
It's stayed fairly similar lineup the whole way through. It's not. Is that unusual that you've stayed together as that 12-bar group?
I think if it wasn't close to the original lineup, it wouldn't be the band that it started out being, and I guess we would start to question, whether it was still the same thing, whether it was even the same, the Treacherous Orchestra. But I think because a lot of us have been playing together for so long, it'd be hard for it to be a very different lineup anyway.
But you guys are so busy in so many different bands and solo stuff. Getting diaries together must be tricky.
Dunk's the man on the diary.
Well, sometimes.
Are you the coordinator? Are you
sometimes
the cat herder?
There's a few folk that do that, and it's a big job. But,
so who cracks the whip then when you have to say, right?
Depends on what we're doing. It depends on what it is. It's the whip is being cracked for.
Well,
Dunk is the rehearsal organizer.
Right.
And he does it splendiferously, but what a job, because it is no mean feat. Never mind getting people together to do a gig, to get together to do rehearsals is pretty painstaking.
But rehearsals are a long process. I mean, say you've got a gig coming up, or a tour coming up. What's the rehearsal running time for that?
Well, I mean, this week we've been in every day. This week and a couple of days last week. And that's kind of pulling some of the stuff together. But I mean, I don't know. Last year, I mean, the second half of last year, we had a handful of gigs, but we seemed to be in the rehearsal studio at least
all the time.
at least 4 or 5 times a month.
We own Berkeley, by the way. We're part owners of it now. Yeah, Steve.
One of the gigs you had latterly last year was at Hyde Park for Radio 2 Live.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
Good question. Well, I think we played at the Radio 2 Folk Awards
Right.
in January at Celtic Connections, and I think the BBC bosses they saw us there and just invited us down to Hyde Park, which is just it was an amazing gig for us to get and to play at, just because the sheer size of it, you know. We were
What size crowd was it that day?
it must be about 80,000
Nice.
crowd.
Yeah,
So,
it's
yeah.
great. Really
And
great.
but we were on at the start, so we were kind of worried that it's like we're a kind of unheard of band, and we were sound checking, and then the gates opened at like 11:45, and just floods of people. So we got like 3/4 of the crowd. So it's definitely the biggest gig we've played there, and it went down.
Yeah, it was pretty
Quite well, yeah.
I was
spectacular.
going to say the
Pretty
people there you
spectacular.
may not have expected it in one of your gigs normally, but presumably pays big dividends.
Yeah, we got lots of tweets and stuff come in from people going, my word, and who's the Treacherous, and then coming back afterwards, they were highly excited about it, and that was it. That's probably the intention of the festival in a day, that you get all the branches of the BBC sphere. You get the folky stuff, you get the classical stuff, you get the rock and roll, and basically they put it all together, and they want to introduce people. It's called introducing, but it was as Ross said, it was most likely the Smooth Operations guys, John Leonard and stuff, who got us to do the Folk Awards, and then said, well, this band would be great to do the festival in a day, and there we were, and we did ourselves proud. It was a fantastic day. I mean, Ali got a bit taken with Jesse J. He was trying to get on stage at one stage, but there was he had purple boots on and everything. He wanted to go dancing and that. But
Any cracking selfies taken that day with any stars?
Ross got
I was just
loads of them.
running around like a nutter.
Ross was totally on it.
Starstruck.
Pinch yourself moments? Or who did you get?
Who did I get? Jack Johnson was my first.
Right.
And then
Josh Groban.
Yeah.
Josh Groban.
You got
What's the BBC radio?
Joe Wiley.
Joe Wiley.
Joe Wiley.
That was my favourite.
Most impressive. So,
That was good.
2014, here we are now, start of the year. What's involved for Treacherous Orchestra?
Well, we've been talking about sort of new music, so really just kind of working on that and just getting material together for a new album, and playing the new music at loads of festivals and gigs in the future. We're really looking forward to it. We've been playing a lot of the sort of music from the first album for a few years now, so it's really exciting to be sort of playing some new stuff. And today was the sort of debut of some new music, and it was scary, but it was a lot of fun. It was
Two
great
different
fun.
gigs today.
Two different gigs.
Yeah.
today.
One here in the Apple Store and the other
Mhm.
one for 1,300
Screaming
school
children.
kids. Yes.
Fantastic. You know if a number's working when the kids start grooving. And they did. They just went for it at one stage. There was no holding them back. So that's the other good thing. I think everyone should have to do that concert at sound check at 8 o'clock in the morning.
You cover all bases at
yeah,
Celtic Connections.
yeah,
it's true,
you
it's true.
certainly do.
So the second album, on its way, hopefully.
On its way.
Will that
yeah.
be a long process? Do you go to one studio? Do you record it all over the shop? Do you go here, there, and everywhere?
Probably going to be a couple of different places. We'll try and get all the rhythm section done together,
Right.
and just get that down, and then it'll be a process of kind of getting, rather than trying to get everyone together, we're sort of getting 2s and 3s together and that kind of thing. So yeah, I think it'll be in a couple of different
Are
studios.
you the
There's-
boss of that as well? Are you-
there's a couple of us in the band that are kind of responsible for all of that. So I'm involved in some of that, which I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of fun.
It is. They do it really well. Ali and Dunk and Barry Reid took over producing the last album, and it will be pretty much the same again. It's we've no money to hire a proper producer. Sorry, did I?
Fighting
No,
talk,
they do it.
fighting
They
talk.
really do it so well and keep us under control so well, and they've great ears, so they can The lugs work, and they say, you know, that's it, and that doesn't work. You know, and the music itself is quite sectional.
Yeah.
So myself and John Somerville and the accordion, we'll do stuff together and in pieces. So you can record that way as well. The fiddles will do stuff. The whistles and pipes do stuff together. So it sometimes doesn't make sense everyone to go into the studio and try it. We did it on the last album, and it worked on some stuff and didn't on others. So I think the guys have learned from that and will use that on this forthcoming album.
Splendid. Well, I'm going to throw it open to the floor. Does anybody have any questions? I do believe there's some microphones out there. Oh, hang on. We'll get your microphone, and you can be recorded for posterity as well.
Excellent. And when can we expect the new album?
We don't know for sure. We're going to be working on it this year, and keep your eyes peeled.
This year.
But we're not saying what year.
This year is what we're saying.
This year is what we're saying. We have a new manager working with us, and he has all the plans. So he's them locked in a safe, and he won't let us have them until the time is right. So we'll give you his number, and you can ring him, do the deal. Have you got any money?
No, I'm a student, so no.
Any more from the floor? Lady over here. Oh.
I was just wondering if you have a favourite gig or memory from a gig that's particularly good.
I know you'd probably expect to say Hyde Park, but I don't think that was my favourite. I think, to be honest, the first proper gig we did in the ABC was amazing for me. It was just a really good atmosphere, and it was it was quite electric, and everyone was up for it. For me,
The first half hour of that gig, we were all just like holding on so tightly. We didn't really know what was happening, but I remember a moment about half an hour in of like, this is actually going okay.
This is working.
This is all right. And that was a total memorable moment for me.
Yeah, even some of the festival club gigs that we've done after the gigs we've been at have been fantastic. I think I remember one in the art school. That was
my favorite one was in the one. It was beneath the comedy club, beneath the cinema. What's the name of that place? That was a great gig. That was crazy.
Don't remember
crazy
that one.
Night. No,
So it must have been good.
It was really good.
Yeah, there have been a few of them. We don't do so much of them anymore. That's a festival. That's a festival club time. You get us in different form, a different hat goes on in that one. Yeah, it's great. I mean, the other side of those gigs is to play at Celtic Connections full stop is pretty fantastic, and to play with this band at Celtic Connections is incredible. You know, the audience that come to see us, the madness from every kind of an age group you could imagine is just tremendous, and it's a powerful thing when you're on the stage and you're looking out and you're seeing loads of faces just having great fun, and we're looking forward to that at the fruit market tomorrow. That's kind of it's very nearly sold out if it's not sold out, and that is great. We're all excited. You get goosebumps about doing that, you know. So that could be the best one.
There's a lady here.
We've travelled across 2 countries to see you guys tomorrow night, and I just wondered, would you please play Easter Island?
Oh, are we doing it?
I don't think it's on the list.
You never know.
But I can play it for you after the gig.
There's an offer.
That's pretty cool.
You heard it
Or
here.
are we
We
doing the
could
club?
we are doing the festival club, so maybe we could do it at the festival club if we don't do it on the main gig. So that'd be good.
Tomorrow at the Festival Club then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Tickets sold. Any more questions from the floor?
Who would you say are your main influences? Obviously, your tattoo, Gordon, but
Gordon,
Gordon for yourself.
Definitely Gordon, and then bands like definitely Wolfstone, Sugar Nifty, and all that kind of like folk bands, but dancey or modern tunes, these kind of bands. But I'm a real folky And then, but Dunk's maybe kind of more like into
I'm into-
wider
yeah, I
genre
don't know.
stuff.
It's always a tough question to answer. I always really struggle with that. Because bass players like Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, he's like an all-time hero of mine. And then I don't know. There's just like there's loads of folk. My influences kind of change all the time, but that's a good thing about the band is that there's a lot of different influences, a lot of different people in the band, and yeah, there's a real mishmash of stuff.
Yeah,
going
we just
on.
kind of everyone listens to different stuff, and I'd hate to be, to agree sitting in a bus listening to music. It just doesn't happen. Everyone has the plugs in and listen to whatever they want on their own. I mean, stuff does go around, and there is commonality between what people listen to. But I think the good thing is everyone brings their own little piece of the pie. They make up the whole group, and we are all what we've listened to, and the music we've learned, the music we've grown up with. So, and I'm a folky as well. Me and Ross are pretty much
Even
folky.
more so than me.
Yeah, probably even more so. Although I do like some classical music,
Any more from the floor? I think that's us. I've got some quick fire questions, chaps.
Oh, quick fire.
Quick fire. Do you get nervous?
Yes.
Yes.
Sometimes.
I can't imagine you ever getting nervous.
Sometimes.
Okay. Who's first up in the morning?
John Somerville.
Yes.
Yeah.
John Somerville.
Who's last to bed at night?
Ali Hutton.
Kevin O'Neill.
Kevin O'Neill.
Both.
Who's first to buy a round and last to buy a round? And that's a big round in a band.
Ali
like
and
yours.
Ross are actually, well, Ali is definitely.
I used to be, but I stopped drinking.
Yeah, you used to be right in there, but Ali's kind of first to buy a round, last to buy a round.
Look at it. He's looking at me.
It is
Unbelievable.
actually.
I'm saying nothing. I'm
Last
saying
to buy a round. When did I last buy a round?
Yeah, exactly.
1944.
But Eamon's good for borrowing money off of.
All right, okay,
Yeah.
I'll bear that in mind, okay.
He's minted.
Worth remembering.
Who spends the most time in front of the mirror?
Ali Hutton.
Martin O'Neill.
Ooh.
Aye,
Neither of them
maybe.
are here that they can
Yeah,
defend
there we
themselves.
go.
so
Maybe-
this is
maybe
quite
Marty,
good.
yeah.
Okay.
Good questions, Kev. Good questions.
Okay. Favorite breakfast item?
Eggs, without doubt.
God, I thought it would be sausages. I was
Crunch-
convinced it would be
crunchy-
sausages. That's one of
crunchy
your
granola.
tracks, Crunchy granola. Okay.
Yeah.
Nothing.
You don't eat breakfast.
Nothing.
Nothing. You don't drink. You don't smoke. You don't. What do you do? You tattoo.
A tattoo.
You tattoo.
Coffee.
Okay.
You're a
Coffee.
Coffee, yeah.
Ambitions for Treacherous Orchestra. Where do you want to be in 5 years' time?
The moon.
Still being able to do the same things, but the same kind of things, but more of them. And being able to do the big festivals, being able to go to Hyde Park and do that, where people will buy the ticket to come and see you, I think would be really cool. Not that they bought the ticket anyway, they got it free, didn't they? The free festival.
Free festival.
How about you? Where would you think?
I don't know. I guess Hyde Park's like one of the childhood dreams. Like I think maybe just ticking off all of those, like Madison Square Gardens and all of the classic venues. That's where in 5 years, that's done.
Come on, Tom Rose, he's going to get us there.
I think in 5 years' time, hopefully it's made enough money that I can retire.
Oh, splendid. Well, I think, gentlemen, I wonder who came up with the idea of everybody wearing black and white? And will that change?
The idea of
Well, your kind of
Black and white.
monochromatic look on
the
stage
black
with the
and
top
white, yeah,
hats,
it's
and
controversial.
there's a sort
it's
of
controversial.
It was
It's-
easy.
everybody has something black in the wall.
Yeah.
Will it change for the next album?
We tried to be really colourful this morning, but not everyone read the memo.
Better emails. Better
I
emails.
think it might change. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, who knows? You just have to get coordinated. Black and white's very easy to
That's fair.
get coordinated for. Orchestras don't tend to be too flamboyant.
No.
You know.
Flip it on its side and go white with black highlights.
See, we need a
Style
styler.
guru. Okay,
Yeah,
I've just
baby.
volunteered myself. Gentlemen, thank you very much indeed. More
Cheers,
power to
Kevin.
your elbow. If you want to find out any more about Treacherous Orchestra, you can go to the website, which is treacherousorchestra.com. If you want to buy their tune book, it's called Blueprint. And the new CD will be out this year.
Yes, you.
Ross Ainsley, Duncan Lyle, Eamon Coyne, thank you very much. And thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin MacLeod.